our business letter, we are going to, first of all, create a letterhead to go with our letter. And this is kind of something that's nice to have if you are wanting to kind of make your letter stand out a little bit, or if you do end up owning a business someday, you could create your own and not have to have the expense of having letterhead created at a printing shop of some kind. So, so to begin with, we are going to put in a shape. And so to do a shape, we are going to use the drawing object. So we need to go to the Insert tab, and then once we get to the Insert tab, you will see that there is a shape section in the illustrations. When you click on that button, you can find, probably in the recently used, the rectangle. If not, go down to the rectangle section and choose it from there. And we are going to just create a rectangle up here at the top part of this. We want this to be a 1/2 inch tall, so you use your size part of your drawing tools format tab to make this 5 wide and a 1/2 inch tall. So then we probably need to move that over to the center again. Okay, so do you see the green line that's showing up now? That is called a guide line, and those kind of help you line up things on your documents, either Word. You also see them in PowerPoint. So those are kind of helpful. When you have objects that you need to line up. So, okay, your textbook then talks about floating versus inline objects. Most of the time when you put an object in, like we just did, it comes in as what's called an inline object. It comes in as part of the line in a paragraph. So if I had 10-point font here, it would be the smaller than this 1/2 inch rectangle. And there wouldn't be a lot of text on this line because my rectangle is taking up most of the space. A floating object can be placed, it's independent of your line of text. So it can be placed and be moved around, and your letters can kind of float around that object. So your textbook talks about some of the different text wrapping options, and you'll see as we go through these what they're talking about there. But your book does go over more of, or all of them, in a little table there. So we are going to change. First of all, we're going to change the object's position. So right now, I have just moved it to the center, but we are able to use, again, we're on the Drawing Tools Format tab. In the Arrange section, you have a Position button. You can click the drop-down arrow with that, and right now it is at that in line with text, and we are going to choose the one that is to keep it with text wrapping. The position is in the top center, and then it's going to have square text wrapping around it. Now, when we change the position, we also set the text wrapping to be square text wrapping, but we want it to be a little bit different than just the square. So what we are going to do is we can now use the layout options which looks like a black rainbow shaped with text around it icon. And this shows up whenever you have your shape selected. But you also notice it's up here in the Arrange section. So you can click on either one of those and you'll see the same options that show up in them. So what we're going to do is we are going to make sure that this is square, which is what was set, and we want to change it so that it is top and bottom. So we'll change that so that it's set to top and bottom. And then you can just click off of that, or if you were in the, this one here, you can just click outside of that. Now we're going to apply a shape style to this shape. So you guys should be familiar with applying styles, since we have been doing that in both of the previous modules. So we still have our shape selected, and then when it is selected, you have that Drawing Tools Format tab. I clicked off of mine, so that moved away. So I want to set that back so that it is available. And I am going to come up here to the Shape Style section. And remember, we have that gallery. If we click that More button, it pops out so we see all of those different options. And we are going to choose the orange accent 2 column. So find that orange column, and then we're going to go down to Moderate Effect Orange Accent 2. It is the third column over and then the fifth row down. A lot of people do not remember to count this top one, and so it gets them off a little bit. I think people think that with it being an outline, it's like a heading or something there, but it's not. So that's one option, and then we just move down to the fourth one. So it's Moderate Effect Orange Accent 2. Then we're going to change the outline of this shape. So we will go to the Shape Outline arrow, and then we're going to choose Gold Accent 4 for the outline. And we are going to add a glow or an effect to this as well. So we'll go to that Shape Effects. Again, make sure your shape is still selected. We'll go into the glow option, and then we are going to choose Glow 5-Point Gold, and that's our accent color 4. Glow 5-Point Gold accent color 4. We're ready to put some text into our shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our mouse and put it in the center of that text box. And when you do a right click on it, you get an option to add text. So now you'll see a little insertion point there where we are going to type Sunset State College. Then we are going to set the font size to 24. Remember, you can do this by going up to the home ribbon, or you can use your mini toolbar here to move it to where it needs to be. You can also use your increase indent button to increase it. Any of those ways work. While we still have our heading or our lettering in our business letter selected here, we are also going to choose to bold it. Again, you can just choose to right click and there's B for bold. You can also do Control B or go back to that home ribbon. Okay, they do mention in the book to go ahead and save this at this point, and I'm sorry, I always forget to do that when we come back. So we can just go in and do Save As. Make sure you're going to the location where you want to save that. So right now mine is going to this PC, and who knows exactly where it's going, but it's going with all these other documents. If you want to, you can always browse and then pick where you want it to go. So here mine is going into downloads. So really I have a folder that this can go into. Here is my fall folder. And so once I have that put in there, then you should be able to right click and paste your file name in there. We are now ready to put in the picture of the eagle that we downloaded. And so we'll make sure that we are on our next blank line that is below our letterhead. And we will come up to Insert, click on Pictures, and you'll probably have to navigate. I have to go to my downloads to find that. So if you've saved it to a different location, you'll be able to find it there. So now that we have our eagle picture put in, and you can tell that this is a very large picture, so we're going to need to resize this. In our Picture Tool Format tab, over on the far right-hand side, we have that size section there. We are going to click on the little dialog box launcher. And then you will see a scale section, which is the lower part of that dialog box. And we are going to go where it says height, and it's set to 20%. You can double click it, you can click and drag over it. We're going to type 10 in there. And then if you press the tab key, then you'll see the width automatically changes to the 10% as well, because we have this lock aspect ratio check mark clicked here. Okay. So now if we click the OK button, it should be smaller than that. So it needs to be a 1/2 inch tall and 0.65 wide. So we can make that happen without having to go in there. Okay, so we want it to be smaller like this because we're going to put it on each side of our letterhead. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the color of this picture a little bit. So you notice that we have the orange with the yellow outline and glow here. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the coloring of our picture. So we have it selected. Over in the Adjust section of the Picture Tool Format tab, we are going to go to the Color Gallery, and you will see that there are different sections there. We're going to go down to the Recolor, and you will find the Gold Accent Color 4. So that's down here, and so it's the one that has the yellow background. That's our Gold Accent Color 4. And then we still want to have this selected, and we're going to go into the corrections button, and we want to change the brightness and the contrast. So when you are working with brightness and contrast, what you need to remember is the middle um, selected one here is normal, or no additional brightness, no additional contrast. Everything is just normal as it would come in. So we want to um, go to plus 20 brightness, and so I always have to just experiment. So brightness, adding brightness goes to the right, and then the contrast, we want less of a contrast. So we're going to keep going up. So over 1 and up 1 is plus 20 brightness and minus 20 contrast. Okay, so now we still have our picture selected, and so we're going to put a picture border around here. So in our picture styles, we'll go up to the picture border, and we are going to choose gold accent 4. We are going to still have our eagle selected here. Then we're going to go to our layout. Our layout options. Oh my goodness, I keep clicking on things. Okay. Oh goodness. So we're going to click on that layout options tab there, and then we are going to choose that we want this in front of text. Okay, we're going to take our picture, we're going to move it up here so that it's at the end of our orange box that we put in. And then we are going to copy So we've copied our eagle, so we have that selected. And then to move it, we are just going to, oops, I didn't get copied. Let's try that again. So we'll copy it. And then you can go ahead and do paste right now, and I'll put it right over the top of that. But then we're going to move it over here to the right-hand side of our letterhead. We would like to have this eagle facing the other eagle on the other side. So what we need to do is we just need to flip this object. So we'll have our eagle selected there, and then we can go to our View tab. While we have that selected, then we'll come up here to our arrange section, and we should see the rotate button. Okay, so we can put that horizontally, or you can just twirl around with it and finally decide where you want to stop it. We're going to put our insertion point here at the bottom of our letterhead. Okay, so we want to have this bottom line here centered. So we can try to use our click and type feature. I was afraid it wouldn't get us close enough. We can also choose center alignment here, and Control E is the keyboard option for that. So we'll type the words Office of Admissions. We'll do a comma, space, 1001. Canton Street. And there's a comma. NC 3300, comma. Our next task is to insert a symbol from the symbol gallery. So we want to have our insertion point after the space that's after Sunset State College. So we're going to go to the end where it says California. I forgot my zip code in there, or whoever zip code this is. So we are going to insert a symbol. We're just going to choose this little black dot that's already there. Four, 1, 5. Oh my gosh. 4, 1, 5. We are going to put a bottom border on this. So we'll go to our home ribbon. This is the bottom river. We are going to select our paragraph, which is our line of text underneath here. Good grief, I am having some problems getting that. 0199. And then we're going to put in another symbol, same one, the dot there. And then we're going to we'll type in the web address, sunset.edu. Okay, so with our paragraph selected here, we are going to add a paragraph border. So to put in a border, we're going to go here to the borders and shading. We're going to choose the bottom border and the borderless. Okay, now that we have our underline there, we are going to press our enter key one more time. That moves everything down. Now the insertion point. So with our paragraph sign highlighted here on this blank line, we are going to go to the clear all formatting buttons. And if you're like me, I am not seeing that one right now. Wait, here it is over here in the font. Clear all formatting.